When we started this country, about 90% of our population were farmers.
My grandparents moved out here in 1936 out of Cleveland. They lived on Starkweather. And they moved out here, started farming. I worked in a plant and I couldn't stand it. I hated it.
I lived here for 58 years, and I represent the fifth generation of family farms that have lived and worked on this land mass, and of that I'm very proud. Historically, over the millennia, there has been an extremely intimate relationship of mankind with the food that they eat. What could be more intimate than providing our bodies with the sustenance that it needs? So over the last 50 years especially, that relationship has become quite estranged. We don't know the foods that come to our table anymore. We don't know where they come from, we don't know how they're produced, and frankly there's a whole lot of justifiable anxiety about that. The sugar maple tree, a very important part of northeastern Ohio, a very important part of our family's history. This year, for the first time ever, we saw bud expression on these maple trees in very early January. This is alarming to us because, as I said before, the budding is usually an indication of the end of our sugar maple season. So we were very, very concerned about this, and obviously last year having been the warmest January in history, as part of about the warmest year in history, I think it's pretty understandable that our thoughts went to global climate change as an indication for this. And that is just one of the indicators that we see around the globe of the impact of global climate change.
You're buying corn from one of the major chains. They're selling you corn, they really don't care. They're going to want something they can pick with a machine, they can pick fast, it'll keep.
The problem areas are, A, it takes fuel to go out and harvest feed outside the farm and bring it, and then B, it takes fuel to transport it onto the farm and process that and to put it in front of the cows, and then you also have to haul the manure back out, and as well as the product, whether it be meat or milk.
I was in a commodity business. I know the commodity business, and you do a lot of acres, and it's nickels and dimes per acre.
So there's some important things about using local communities. There are some important things about applying the lessons of natural systems to our modern day production techniques. There is not any good understandable reason why we should go to our grocer's shelf and look in and find an apple from New Zealand rather than an apple from Pennsylvania, New York, or Ohio, or perhaps right outside your door.
We sell it one-on-one, and if people don't like it this week, they'll either come back next week and complain, or they don't come back. So in order to keep them coming back, we have to have a high-quality corn that they're going to want to come back. We get them addicted to it, they're going to want to come back to it.
People call them a CSA, which is a consumer-supported agriculture. And what it is that you prepay ahead of the season for your vegetables, and then each week we provide a box of vegetables for that value to the customers.
It's a lot of fun usually. We have a lot of good time at markets. Most markets we go to are hysterically funny.
Oh, you want to see if he doesn't die, you'll eat it then?
Well, no, I want to see it on tape.
Want to see him die on tape?
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Delicious. Wow.
This is a grass-based livestock operation here. Almost all of the energy that we use here, including coal, including oil, comes from the sun. Those stores of coal and oil that are now sequestered under the ground originated in plant and animal matter from eons ago. And all of that developed as a result, directly or indirectly, of the energy from the sun. And one of the most direct ways to capture that energy from the sun is through grass, and directly from the growing plants. And that is the mechanism that we use to harvest the energy that goes into the cattle that grow on this farm. You can think of a plant as a sail on a sailing ship, and the larger that plant is, the larger the photosynthetic area, the more power it can produce, and that is exactly what happens. So as the grass grows and it gets relatively large, it can harvest a lot of energy, sequester a lot of energy, and produce a lot of protein and carbohydrates, just what animals need, whether that be human animals or livestock. We discovered that by far the most productive acres of ground that we had on our farm were those acres that were devoted to intense rotational grazing. We got more pounds of dry matter, more pounds of protein, more pounds of energy off an acre of land that was devoted to grass than from corn or wheat or any other crop that we could possibly grow. And the cows were healthier because they walked around and they got plenty of exercise, and a cow is engineered to eat grass rather than corn, and so that works really pretty good. The animal's health was higher, and we made more money. So not only that, we monitored the water is coming onto the farm and going off the farm, and the water flowing off the farm was actually documented to be cleaner than that flowing onto the farm. So that was also very gratifying. And in fact, it's far more healthy for you to eat meat that is grown from a grass-fed dairy, or milk that's grown from a grass-fed dairy, than it is from a corn-fed dairy. Grass, frankly, can make cows, can make sheep, can make goats, can make milk. It can make a lot of products just if you let the natural systems work themselves out. And especially when grass is used in a reasonable way.